Hello and welcome to India Votes on France 24. I'm Delano D'Souza, and over the course of the next 7 weeks, we will be bringing you the very latest as the world's largest democracy heads to the polls. This election is seen as a referendum on the Prime Minister Narendra Modi. When he came to power in 2014, he promised to put toilets before temples and develop the Indian economy. The opposition Congress party, meanwhile, say Modi's pledges have fallen flat. They hope their attacks on the Prime Minister for cronyism, a spluttering economy and high unemployment will keep him out of a job. Now, the election runs from the 11th of April until the 19th of May and will take place in 7 phases. The votes will be counted on the 23rd of May, and we will then get an idea of which party winds up on top and who can stitch together the strongest coalition. The Indian election is the largest democratic exercise on earth, and political parties have been spending big bucks to lock down the votes. France 24's team on the ground filed this report.
On the outskirts of New Delhi, Phase 1 of India's massive election has just begun. For these voters, it's an exciting day.
The Indian government has given us this special right, and now this is our duty to use it.
Over the next 6 weeks, nearly 900 million people will cast their ballots across 1 million polling stations, just like this one.
For the past 18 years, our work has consisted in motivating the eligible people above 18 to go vote. Today, we hope that this will pay and that many voters will show up here.
A few kilometers from the polling station, the election machinery is in full swing. This sprinter is working round the clock to meet the demand from politicians who are still campaigning.
This poster is very much in demand right now. Over the past week, we've been working 24/7.
Since the last election in 2014, political parties have seen their budgets explode. And today, none of them are as well funded as Prime Minister Modi's Bharatiya Janata Party. From caps to scarves to flags, no expenses spared in wooing the voter on the campaign trail.
BJP workers scattered across the country are in charge of spreading the message. No matter how big the rally, they can manage to organize it. With Modi, everything is possible.
Everything is possible as long as they can afford it. For experts at the Association for Democratic Reform, this is a worrying trend.
Absolutely lack of transparency in the political party funding. Firstly, underreported. Secondly, about 65 to 70% is from unknown sources. Where is the money coming from?
As experts worry about campaign funding violations, for the moment, only one thing is certain. These voters will have to wait till May 23rd to find out the results of the ongoing polls.
Mandakini Galot reporting there. Now, for more analysis on the Indian election, we can bring in Jean-Joseph Boillot, Associate Researcher at the French Institute for International and Strategic Affairs. Thank you very much for joining us on the program today. Now, when Narendra Modi came to power in 2014, he promised development for all, Achhe Din, the good times would roll. But rather than touting his economic successes during this campaign, it seems the conversation has shifted to national security. Why?
Well, for 18 months, actually, the economic agenda was the top priority. And you remember the international community was not feeling so well with Modi. And within 18 months, traveling abroad, being very sharp on economic issues, I think he succeeded to, on one hand, convince most of the Indian population that he could be the right man at the right place at the right time. And the international community was also very confident. And nobody knows what happened. 18 months after, he implemented first decision, demonetization. Catastrophe. Everybody knows it was a catastrophe. And actually, it was not for economic reason. It was for the UP election, to trap the opposition party coffer so that he could win largely the UP election. And then he shifted only to the ideological and political agenda. The idea was, you may remember, that's very important, to get the majority of the 2 chambers, Lok Sabha and the Upper House of Parliament, in order to introduce a constitutional change. But because of that stupid decision, it's not me who say this, most analysts say, the economic cycle started to come down. And then you had the GST, and the GST was hectic in the implementation. And then you had, at the end, the non-performing loans, top issue.
Okay, so you're saying over the first 18 months he was on the right track, but
yes.
somewhere along the way he got lost and he allowed Hindu nationalism to hijack his agenda.
Well, it's not clear whether it is Modi himself or the Amit Shah and BJP RSS.
But people who are around him.
Yeah.
They're his right-hand men, essentially.
Yeah, but Modi is known to be a leader who could have continued on the economic agenda. But I think he was, and this is Chanakya teaching, very important Chanakya teaching, he was too selfish, too arrogant maybe, to win the majority. He was not satisfied having 60% of the seats in the Lok Sabha maybe. So the dramatic shift from the economic agenda to the ideological and political agenda make the track record of Modi in terms of economy quite bad, actually. Everybody is disappointed, even the foreign companies. Last figures we have on the two-wheelers, and two-wheelers is very important for India. 80% of Indians use two-wheelers. So the latest figures we have show a downturn on the two-wheelers. So on the economic front, things are not so good. This is why I think he will sharply try to put the ideology on the campaign.
I mean, things are not looking good on the economic front. I mean, we do have unemployment that's at a 45-year high. But I want to talk about the opposition, because the Congress party, they're using all these arguments against Narendra Modi. But in the last election, they got decimated in 2014. Yeah. What are they doing differently this time around?
Well, take care. Decimated not in terms of votes. The electoral system in India, first past the vote, make that with 30% of the vote, NDA could get 2/3 of the seats.
But Rahul Gandhi was written off pretty much.
No. That's a very fascinating story. And I travel a lot in India. I could see within 2 to 3 years, you have seen Rahul Gandhi, Priyanka coming up, huge demonstration rally, etc.
Indeed.
But the regional parties also are very popular, and they have won the election in many cases. If you look at the cycle, it's very interesting. After the victory in UP, the downturn of the economy, I think, triggered a change, a total change. And the NDs and the BJP started to lose regional election, Madhya Pradesh, Haryana, etc. And my last trip to India showed that the caste who used to support Modi, the farmers, the middle traders, etc., are fed up with the mistake in the economic front. So nobody knows today what can be the outcome of the election. That's democracy of India.
The mystery. Now, I just want to ask you, the cross-border strikes which we saw at the end of February, they seem to have come at an opportune time for the Prime Minister.
I don't know. I will not comment on that issue. What I know is that...
Well, the polls have, his standing in the polls has gone up since those strikes.
Yeah, but he may use that argument.
Well, on the campaign trail, he's been using it.
But I think Indians, and especially young Indians, are fed up with that. What they want is, as you say...
Jobs.
India growth is about 7%. But the growth of employment is only 1%. So it means that every 2 young reaching the labor market do not find job. So I'm not sure that this Balakot issue will make the decision. We have 1 month to see. My last trip showed that in the countryside, farmers are distressed. The young in the city are very much not disappointed, shall I say. They were expecting Modi to make a breakthrough on the employment front, and that has not happened.
Jean-Joseph Boillot, thank you very much for joining us on the program.
My pleasure.
Now, on this show, you will hear directly from Indian voters, thanks to our team at the France 24 Observers. They'll tell us about their hopes for this election and beyond. Today, we shine the spotlight on agriculture. Discontent among farmers is a major issue in this election. Thousands have marched on the capital, demanding higher prices, debt relief, and help with drought and natural disasters. While half the population work on farms, the sector contributes roughly 15% to GDP, and many farmers feel forgotten. The Congress has promised to waive farmer loans throughout the country. The BJP party of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, meanwhile, has offered farmers 6,000 rupees a year in income support. Vaitalingam is a farmer in Tamil Nadu which was hit by a devastating cyclone in November 2018.
தென்னை, முந்திரி, நெல் போன்ற பயிர்களை நான் பயிரிட்டு வருகின்றேன். என்னுடைய வாழ்வாதாரமும் அதுவாகவே உள்ளது. நாங்கள் உற்பத்தி பண்ணுகின்ற விளை பொருட்களுக்கு சரியான விலை எங்களுக்கு கிடைப்பதில்லை. கஜா புயல்னால எங்களுக்கு பாதிப்பு ஏற்பட்ட போது எங்களுக்கு போதுமான உதவிகளை இந்த மத்திய அரசு எங்களுக்கு சரியான முறையில் செஞ்சு கொடுக்கல. அமைப்புகளில் இருந்தும் அரசியல் மாற்றத்தில் இருந்தும் எங்களுக்கு நல்ல ஒரு நிலையை தருகிறேன் என்று ஒவ்வொருவரும் வாக்குறுதி அளித்து வருகிறார்கள். இனிமேலாவது இந்த விவசாயிகள் பாதிக்கப்பட்ட ஒரு நிலையில் அவர்களுடைய இருந்த பொருள் ஆதாரங்கள் எல்லாம் அழிந்த போதிலும் அவர்களுக்கு நல்ல ஒரு வசதியை ஏற்படுத்தி கொடுப்பதற்கு இனிமேல் ஒரு ஆட்சியாவது நல்ல நிலையில் எங்களுக்கு ஒரு நிலையை ஏற்படுத்தி கொடுக்க வேண்டுகிறோம்.
That's it for this edition of India Votes. From all of us on the team, thank you very much for watching.
Live from Paris, a debate on the big story of the day with experts, newsmakers and observers.
Lots of reactions.
Continue the debate after the show is over by sharing your views on our forums.
It's my faith and nature. I totally checking for it.
The debate, hosted by François Picard on France 24 and France24.com.